The positioning of the tribes in their encampment order is identical to the positioning of their respective gates in New Jerusalem. There is, however, a difference in ranking nonetheless. The West Gate tribes in their encampment order have the same rank as they do on the high priest's breastplate: Ephraim, Manasseh, Benjamin, for Ephraim was the leader of this triad, Numbers 2:18 through 24. However, while the eastern and southern groups maintain their rank, in the case of the North and West Gate tribes, we see the first and last of each triad swapping rank in the circular ranking system of New Jerusalem. That is because the encampment order was designed to facilitate the commencement of the march, whereas the New Jerusalem order reflects status in an absolute way. The result is the relative promotion of Benjamin and Naphtali from 9th to 7th and from 12th to 10th respectively, and the relative demotion of Ephraim and Dan from 7th to 9th and from 10th to 12th respectively. The spiritual application that we do not all end up in the order wherein we begin the Christian race, whether outperforming our station or failing to live up to our advantages, should not be overlooked here. All 6 of the West and North Gate tribes remain in the same geographic position, as was the case when tenting around the tabernacle. But the significance in terms of rank has changed in the cases mentioned on account of the change of system from march order to one of consecutive ranking. In terms of that rank, the true order begins with Judah in the first position at the northernmost eastern gate and proceeds clockwise until we reach Dan in 12th position at the easternmost northern gate. John's actual listing of the 12 is given in a counterclockwise fashion and begins in the middle of the order and on the south at that, because that is the place where he starts his consideration of the foundations, and it is in that direction in which he is given to view the city. John begins with the foundation stones of the southern gates, because that is where he commenced his second lap around the wall, and concludes on the west, south, 654 east 321 north, 12 11 10 and west 9 8 7. Given the impressive nature of the gemstone foundations and the gates, it is likely that both are correspondingly massive in size so as to match the great high wall, which itself harmonizes in magnitude with the monumental New Jerusalem. The most likely layout of these foundation jewels, therefore, is that they occupy the entire area from gate to gate, being also as tall as the gates, with the 1st, 4th, 7th, and 10th foundations wrapping the 4 corners of the wall so as to connect their gate to the one preceding, leaving the wall itself above the foundations and gates a perfect band of uninterrupted translucent jasper. The actual ranking, along with the reasons for it and the correct identification of the gemstones, proceeding in a clockwise direction and beginning with the position of honor, is as follows. East Side tribes. The east side is the place of greatest honor, facing our Lord. Compare the orientation of the tabernacle and temple, and therefore the place of greatest fellowship with the Father and the Son. Members of the 3 eastern tribes have all fulfilled the plan of God for their lives, not only believing in Him and His Son, our Lord Jesus, as the Messiah either promised before the cross or revealed after the cross, but growing up in Him spiritually, passing the tests of spiritual maturity, and completing the ministries assigned to them by the Lord. This level of achievement is represented in the visible human face of the cherub who guards the front of the throne. East Side tribal members have advanced to the point of reflecting the person of Christ, 2 Corinthians 3:18, having become complete in their Christian walk and production of their assigned ministries, Ephesians 4:13. While all 3 eastern tribes share the honor of having accomplished their God-given missions, they have done so to relative degrees, in the manner of 160 and 30-fold respectively. Judah, Sardius Hebrew, Odom, Greek Sardion, Deuteronomy 33:7. Issachar, Sardonyx Hebrew, Piteda, Greek Sardonyx, Deuteronomy 33:18 and 19. Zebulun, Emerald Hebrew, Bereketh, Greek Smaragdos, Deuteronomy 33:18 and 19. South Side tribes. The south side is the place of second greatest honor on our Lord's right hand. Members of the 3 southern tribes have all made great progress in the plan of God for their lives, not only believing in Him and His Son, our Lord Jesus, as the Messiah either promised before the cross or revealed after the cross, but growing up in Him spiritually and passing the high-level tests of spiritual maturity. This level of achievement is represented in the visible lion face of the cherub who guards the right-hand side of the throne. Southside tribal members have advanced to the point of honoring the person of Christ, Philippians 1:20, having courageously acquitted themselves in the Christian life, Proverbs 28:1. While all three southern tribes share the honor of having trusted the Lord in significant testing, they have done so to relative degrees in the manner of 100, 60, and 30-fold, respectively. Reuben, Carnelian Hebrew Nophek, Greek Chalcedon, Deuteronomy 33:6. Simeon, Sapphire Hebrew Sapphire, Greek Sapphairos, Deuteronomy 33:8-11. Gad, Jasper Hebrew Yahalom, Greek Iaspis, Deuteronomy 33:20 and 21. West Side Tribes. The West Side is the place of third greatest honor in the special guardian position behind the throne. Members of the three Western tribes have all made progress in the plan of God for their lives, not only believing in Him and His Son, our Lord Jesus, as the Messiah either promised before the cross or revealed after the cross, but growing up in Him spiritually. This level of achievement is represented in the visible eagle face of the cherub who guards the rear of the throne. West Side tribal members have advanced to the point of trusting the person of Christ, Exodus 19:4, having grown to the point of spiritual maturity in the Christian life, Ephesians 4:13. While all three Western tribes share the honor of having advanced in the knowledge of the Lord, they have done so to relative degrees, in the manner of 100, 60, and 30-fold, respectively. Benjamin, Amethyst Hebrew Achalama, Greek Amethystos, Deuteronomy 33:12. Manasseh, Jacinth Hebrew Leshem, Greek Hyakinthos, Deuteronomy 33:13-17. Ephraim, Chrysopras Hebrew Shebo, Greek Chrysopraso, Deuteronomy 33:13-17. North Side Tribes. The North Side is the final place of honor, to the left-hand side of the throne. Members of the three northern tribes have all responded to the plan of God for their lives, not only by believing in Him and His Son, our Lord Jesus, as the Messiah either promised before the cross or revealed after the cross, but maintaining their faith safely intact until the end. This level of achievement is represented in the visible bullock face of the cherub who guards the left-hand side of the throne. Northside tribal members have endured the trials of life while holding firmly to their faith in the person of Christ, Isaiah 1:3 and 2 Timothy 4:7, having refused to exchange that precious faith for a mess of pottage, Hebrews 10:35-39. While all three northern tribes share the honor of having kept faith with the Lord, they have done so to relative degrees, in the manner of 100, 60, and 30-fold, respectively. Naphtali, Peridot Hebrew Yashephe, Greek Topazion, Deuteronomy 33:23. Asher, Aquamarine Beryl Hebrew Shoham, Greek Berylos, Deuteronomy 33:24 and 25. Dan, Chrysolite Hebrew Tarshish, Greek Chrysolithos, Deuteronomy 33:22. It is important to note here that the exceptional achievements of some will not in any way disparage the lesser accomplishments of others. Regardless of the regiment into which we are eternally enrolled, just as each believer is a special living stone memorialized before the Lord, Zechariah 9:16 and 1 Peter 2:5, so each tribe receives its own unique blessings, as can be seen from a comparison of the blessings of Jacob and Moses. Moreover, each tribe is worthy of special distinctive memorialization, as evidenced by the beautiful gemstone which is uniquely its own, and by its own individualized gate, each being associated with a specific, high-ranking angel and apostle prince. Even the lowest-ranking person in the lowest-ranking tribe of Dan, that is, the believer, who has earned the least possible reward of everyone in the entire church, will still be blissfully happy for all eternity, possessing a full share of Jesus Christ, access to the tree of life, and an eternal lodging in the New Jerusalem. Thus even the absolute least in the eternal kingdom has won the victory. 1 John 5:4, receiving as a result glory and honor and immortality with eternal peace and blessing, Romans 2:7-9, and will be inestimably better off than the least unrighteous unbeliever of all condemned to the lake of fire.